Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. I'm doing this on August 26th, and as I speak, I think Venus is moving into Leo. And so I'm doing a pick a deck reading about relationships, and I apologize in advance for my voice. I'm croaky, and that's nothing new. So, this is a pick a deck, as I said. I put the Hermit on the front because I was going to do a Virgo, because the sun's in Virgo now, and we just had a new moon in Virgo. We're gonna have another one at the end of the month, or the 21st, I think. And then we have a lunar eclipse in Pisces, I think, before that. I forget which one's which, but anyway, so that's why I put the Hermit on top. But these are, I almost put Strength, but I wanted that to be available to come up. So this is Virgo energy, but I am doing this for Venus moving into Leo. These are relationship readings, so just take a moment and see which one calls to you. And I'm going to start with the one on the left and go forward. And I wanted to put a glove on, but oh well. So if you chose this one, and I'm going to put this up now since I'm doing one at a time. If you chose, this is the Mythic Tarot by Liz Green. If you chose this one, then you get this deck. I'm making a mess here. It's dusty, and I haven't been, I was going to timestamp. I'm sorry. I'm a mess tonight. My life is just insane. Okay, this started about, I don't know. Who knows? Time? What's time? Oh my gosh, look at the dust that go. I give up. My life is crazy right now. Okay, so you're thinking, why am I taking advice from, these cards are so big. They're hard to see. Okay, so we're not really I just put this here because of Virgo season, so this really is neither here nor there. This is romance energy, and it's all relationships, I should say, including romance. So we start out with, you get the Tower, which is an existing structure, an existing relationship perhaps, or the structure of a relationship being destroyed. Something is falling apart, and it's probably not something that you chose, but that doesn't mean it's a terrible thing. It can be painful when existing forms break down. So there's some relationship that you have with someone, and it's just no longer sustainable, and it's changing, and you may have just realized that suddenly how much it's changed. Okay, what that does is it moves you into, you have to do some circumspection. You have to stop and get into your feelings and use your intuition about how best to deal with this now. Because again, this happened, and I don't think you intentionally caused it to happen. It just happened. Or perhaps you just realized it, because the Tower can be a sudden realization also. Excuse me. But it's time for you to go within and get in touch with your feelings. How do you really feel? You're going to have to ground yourself in your feelings, like get control of them, and not, like, yeah, in a way, try to control them. Not in a bad way. I mean, you have to allow feelings to be, but you don't have to let them dictate everything you do. So she's getting in touch with her feelings so that she can be in charge, and she's getting in touch with her intuition, because you want to do the right thing. Now here comes a really good thing, because you get some outer, inner and out. I just noticed there's a spider there. Oh, well, this is, I was going to call her, what's her name? Not Persephone. Who opened the box? Pandora. And all the ills of the world come out. I would not put dragonflies and moths. I love them. So I object. Anyway, here comes the Fairy of Hope. That's all that was left. Remember at the bottom of the box, the hope chest. So this is something guiding you. Maybe when you get in touch with your feelings and your intuition, there's something in there that you can hang on to. There's some faith, there's some hope. All is not lost, even though something is crumbling. A very important relationship is changing. But you've got hope. It's all is not lost, so don't give up hope, because there's some hope here. And what does that do? It brings you to the Page of Cups, which is discovering either a new way of relating to this relationship, or perhaps a tender, it could be an offering, someone offering something to, some way to help you, or someone new coming in. I think it's you getting in touch with a part of yourself, perhaps, that will get you through this, that brings you some hope. And it's a new emotion, but it's very positive. It's very tender, so you have to be careful. Be gentle with yourself. That's what it's telling me. Be very gentle with how you treat yourself, and perhaps be very gentle with how you treat this other person, even though the something has broken down. But be gentle in this. All is not lost. We got the Star, so that's good. And then I drew a couple of shadow cards. Oh yeah. And you get the Two of Swords. I said, what are you not seeing? This is kind of a refusal to make a decision. It's not wanting to see what's in front of you, even though there's a decision to be made, and you don't want to make it. So it's kind of a denial. And also I drew, look, the 2 and the 3, they were shuffled, but they both came out. There's a heartbreak involved here, unfortunately. I wish I would get 3 really happy, sexy, romantic relationship readings, and that just hasn't happened for a long time, and I don't understand it. But I have to read what I get. I can't put them back, but anyway. There's some sadness here that you don't want to look at. But you know what? You need to, because it's going to be okay, even though something sudden happens and something's falling apart and you don't want to look at it. But you know what? Yeah, it's going to hurt, but everything that's beautiful hurts. And it's worth it in the end. And also, all is not lost. You've got hope. You've got the Page of Cups. There's a new beginning coming. Sometimes the old has to go. And then I don't use these cards very much, but I don't remember what they're called. Oh dear, there's some kind of oracle card. Sorry, I don't remember what they're called. I don't use them very often, but I like them. The Bobcat and Blackthorn, patience. This is going to require an immense amount of patience from you with this other person. Okay, and I also got, and I'm not sure how this figures in, but it does, the Salamander and Black Pepper, inspiration. I think that goes with the Star. Even though this is a difficult situation, there's some heartbreak involved, there's some sadness, you dig deep within. It forces you to kind of go within, and you come up with something, and you find some hope, and you find some tender emotions. All is not lost, trust me. This is kind of a bittersweet falling apart here. And again, it's not like the person's dying or anything. I'm not saying that. It's just there's a change in the structure of the relationship that you didn't choose. But you know what? You end up, it inspires you, brings out your patient side, brings out your intuitive side, and you find some hope. So it's not a horrible reading. I know it doesn't look great, okay, but it really isn't. It isn't bad. It's challenging. These are challenging times. What can I say? What can I say? But it's not horrible. It's not horrible. And I think overall, hope is there. The Page of Cups is there. You're the Queen of Cups. I'm pretty sure that's you. So, in the end, it's going to be okay, but it's going to be a bit challenging. Sorry about that. Okay, let me write down the time here. I actually remembered. I can't believe it. Okay, so this is, if you chose, this is the Welsh Tarot, the Llewellyn Tarot, I should say, Welsh mythology. If you chose this one, and again, we're not doing a hermit reading, it's just Virgo season. Okay. Let's see, what did you get? I don't even remember because I drew them a while. Oh yeah, you got the weird reading. You got the weird reading, folks. Kind of. Okay. You start out with, I hope you can see these okay. You start out with the 9 of Wands. So you're feeling defensive. And you're dealing with boundaries. And you're feeling kind of knocked around, dragged through a hedge backwards. Things have been a little rough. But you're still standing. And you know what? You've been through a lot, but you're at the last challenge. Okay, yes, it's challenging. Everyone's getting a challenging reading, so it's not just you. But yes, it's challenging, but this is your last challenge. So hang in there, okay? And then we get the Lovers. Okay, wow. So this is either a choice that you have to make, or, since I'm doing this as relationships, including romance, or this is you having boundaries in a romantic relationship. And there's been a bit of a struggle here. You guys have had to struggle. You've had to struggle maybe with this other person. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, this card fell on the floor. I wasn't going to do reversals, but I think it's supposed to be reversed because when I picked it up, it was in reverse. It's the 10 of Pentacles, which is the having it all, the security card, having the house and the, you know, the mortgage is paid for and you're all secure and you got the child and everything's good. But it's in reverse. So I think there's a feeling of you're not quite sure if this is secure. You're not quite sure if this is for the long haul. Let me look at the other cards. I'm just going to glance at your shadow cards here real quick. Oh, yeah. Okay. I shouldn't say it like that. It's not that bad. You get 2 10s. It came out with the 10 of Wands. Well, they came out separately, but... And this is you. So you have the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. You have the challenge of defending yourself. You've been through some kind of a battle, but you're almost at the end. Then we get to the end, but you're still carrying the burden. You're not quite, the end is in sight again. I feel like you're very close, but you're carrying something, and you're having to do the work here. And I'm going to have to pull a clarifier for this, because I'm not quite sure if you're supposed to stay in this relationship or you're doing too much of the work and it's not quite as stable as you thought. And yet there's a feeling of stability. Okay, I'm going to do the shadow cards, and then I'm going to pull a clarifier or an oracle card, because this is just, okay. We get the Fool as a shadow card. I said, what are you not seeing? And we get the Knight of Pentacles. So when I put these two together, because this Knight of Pentacles as a shadow card is, he's not paying attention to the details. He's trying to run too fast. The Knight of Pentacles is supposed to take things slowly, and he's not. He's not paying attention to detail. And this is Virgo season, which is why I started out with the Hermit cards. This is Virgo season, but I don't know. There's something that that's not quite secure. And he's Pentacles, which is security, and there's a feeling of insecurity here. I'm going to try to figure it out. And also, I think you're not looking at the risk you're taking. Either that, or you're not looking at the fact that you need to start something new. But I don't know why I'm getting the feeling of, like, you're rushing too quickly. I'm hearing weird sounds in here again. That always happens. You're trying to rush too quickly. And you're not seeing that you're running, you're trying to do too much. You need to slow down and look at the details, because something's off. Security-wise, detail-wise, something is off, and it's causing you too much. You're carrying too much. What can I pull up? I'll show you the animal oracle card. Oh, stop making noise in here. I don't know who I'm talking to. You get the porcupine and anemone. I went shopping one time, this is just a by the way, for flowers, and I was looking for anemones, and when the man who worked at the nursery found them, he looked at the label and he said, "I found your anemones." I was like, okay, whatever. So, porcupine and anemone, no, they're anemones. I love anemones. Boundaries, oh yes. That's your issue here. That's your issue. There's something going on here with you having, why are you having to have such strong boundaries? I need to pull, what should I pull? I don't know whether to stick with I'm going to stick with the same deck. Okay, I injured my hand, and so I should have put a glove on here, but I'm going to, okay, why the boundaries? Is this just obvious and I'm missing it, or is it just telling why? I just don't understand why you get the Lovers. Lovers is a good card to get in a romance reading, a relationship reading, right? So why is the Ten of Pentacles upside down? Why do we need the boundaries? The Knight of Cups. Well, that's usually a good card. Someone's bringing you an offer. The Knight of Cups, it's not in reverse though, so I don't think it's someone who's, oh, it's you. Okay. I think you're offering too much. And the Knight of Cups is not about boundaries, which is perhaps why you need the boundaries. You're being the Knight of Cups, and you're carrying too much, and you're doing too much of the offering, I think. Let me pull one more just to be sure, because that sounds very similar to one of the other readings. I just want to make sure. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, okay. The Wheel of Fortune. You need to change something up. Or someone else needs to change something up. But I think it's you. Is this you turning things on its head on purpose? I felt like this was someone else, like the relationship wasn't stable. You're doing all the work because you've got the Ten of Wands. Gosh, you know what? I'm really not sure. I'm not sure if you're doing this on purpose, if you're turning things on its head, because the Wheel of Fortune is telling me that I think this is you changing things. You're throwing up boundaries where you had none before because you need to. You need to. And that's throwing things off. It's throwing the structure off, but you're carrying too much. I'm sorry, I have to pull one more. I may have to pull you an oracle card because I'm missing something here. I'm missing something here, and I don't know. What am I missing? Okay, I'm missing, here we go, the Pentacles again. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, you're not seeing. He's rushing too fast. Okay. Is this you being solid? Or, okay, hold on, I have to think for a minute. So we have, you have to put up boundaries. You're putting up boundaries. Maybe you're putting up too many boundaries. Oh, okay. Maybe you're putting up too many boundaries. Oh, this is a very challenging read. Okay, hold on. Okay, if we get the Knight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the King of Pentacles, I still think this is you. I don't think this is someone else. You're having to structure everything, I think. And I think that needs to change. I think you're waiting for the other person. Come on, focus. I think you're waiting for the other person to step forward with an offer, because I think you're doing all the giving. Does that sound right? It sounds very eerily similar to one of the other readings, though. I suppose I'll have a thought about this at 3 in the morning, and then I may have to post on it later. But okay, boundaries. This is the key here, because it's your first card. But is it telling me that you need to have boundaries, or you have too many? I think you need to have the boundaries. I think someone's not pulling their weight, and I think that needs to change. And I think someone needs to step up and give you an offer and help you carry the wands. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. But on the other hand, this is what you're not seeing. Maybe this is the other person not attending to detail. I think this is you, though. Okay, one more shadow card, or one more. Okay, what am I going to draw? I have to know if this is you not being, if this is you trying to run away. I don't think this is you. You're carrying the weight. You know what? I think these shadow cards might be not you not seeing the details. I think this is the other person. Okay, now I'm getting it. This is who you're dealing with. Someone who claims to be solid, who is not solid. Someone who is rather foolish, immature. I hate to say that, but that's what I'm getting. And you need to put up your boundaries, because things need to change. And you're looking for the King of Pentacles, but you're getting... The Knight of Cups is not a bad thing. But you're having to do it all. And I think you need to start being more, having better boundaries, and your life is not going to be stable until you're going to have to carry all the weight until you do erect the boundaries, and just insist on some, some equilibrium here, some offering, some emotional presence, some stability from the other person. I think you're lacking that. Okay, that's my best guess on this one. I'm sorry these aren't more. Just one of these days I'm going to draw some cards, and they are just going to be so fun instead of I have to call them as I see them. I don't cheat, but I was hoping this would be lighthearted. It's not a terrible reading, but you know what? The stability is there, but it's not there from the other person. And honestly, maybe if you call that forth, if you turn the wheel, if you change the way you're showing up in the relationship, perhaps this person can become the Knight of Cups and the King of Pentacles. That's a possibility also. Or you will draw that in rather than the person you're dealing with, who I feel is rather immature. Okay? I hope that made sense. Please leave me a comment and let me know. Please do, please do. Okay, let me write down the time here. All right, if you chose the last one, let me reach around here. If you chose this one, this Hermit, which is from the Oak, Ash, and Thorn, can't remember the name now because I'm brain dead here. It's the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. That's who makes it. Oh, that's the name of the deck, but it's by Three Trees Tarot. That's right. Okay. Okay, I had to draw 2 clarifiers for your last card because. Okay. You get a very interesting reading. Again, I was hoping for something a little more lighthearted, but can we get that with Saturn and Neptune together and Pluto in Aquarius and all these eclipses coming up? No, we can't. Okay. The Hanged Man. unfortunately, I think this is you. You are, you just feel like you have to give up, you have to surrender to something. This is a challenging read, but all is not lost. It's not terrible. There's some good stuff here, but you feel like you're having to sacrifice. And I don't think this is about seeing things from a different perspective. I think this is about surrendering and saying, you know what, this just isn't working. There's a feeling of, again, of being put upon. This is kind of similar to the last reading, but different. It's also about going within and taking a look. It's about circumspection also. Okay, then we get the Seven of Swords. You're having some upset in relationships or in one relationship, and it is making you feel very defensive, and rightly so, because you're being made to feel like you're sacrificing, and you shouldn't have to. So you get the Seven of Swords and feeling defensive and a little bit attacked, okay? And it's hurtful. Someone has hurt your feelings. Someone is causing you heartache. I'm sorry, these aren't more positive. Someone is causing you some heartache that you have to go through right now. And we're in this eclipse season, and it's just really weird. And then, but you know what? It ends on a good note. That's why I clarified. I was like, wait a minute. These three cards are really challenging. And then I get the Nine of Cups, which is about emotional satisfaction. There's an end in sight. Okay, all is not lost. When you surrender and stop fighting and just acknowledge that there's some heartache involved here, there's some peace. There's some rest and there's some contentment. Even if you're by yourself, there's some contentment here. Emotional contentment, and that's good, okay? And then I kind of asked to clarify that because I was like, where did that come from? And I got the King of Swords. Now, this could either be you being strong in your thinking and just saying, I'm not going to let this, because we have a lot of swords here, 7-3, the King. You're saying, I'm not going to let this emotional and this fighting and all this, I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm still in charge of my thoughts. I'm going to stay positive. This could also be someone coming along to help you. Some logical friend, male or female, doesn't matter. Some logical friend coming along. I forgot to write down when your reading started. Oh well. Some logical friend coming along to provide you with some insight, some intellectual insight, and that could give you some comfort. Or again, it's you. Sorry to reach around here. And I also asked for another clarifier, and the Four of Cups. So you have some emotional satisfaction, but you're not going to drown in your sorrow. You're not going to engage. You know, someone's attacking you, your feelings are hurt, could be, some heartache involved, but you get the Four of Cups. So I think this either you're thinking of something that puts you into emotional neutral and calms the waters, or someone else gives you some advice that calms the waters, but that's a good thing. Then I asked, what are you not seeing? And I got the Six of Pentacles. Now, this could be telling me that, when I get the Hanged Man, and that could be sacrifice, you could have been giving too much, and someone else, that could be why the heartache, someone else is not stepping up. They're not giving as much as you are, as much as you deserve. But it's possible that they're not capable of that too, because we have the child and the old man. I don't know. But there's an imbalance. But you're not seeing this because this is a shadow card. So I think maybe, let's see what the other shadow card is. The Ace of Pentacles. When I put these two together, they're both pentacles. There's a gift in this that you're not seeing, and maybe that's why that King of Swords might be someone else saying, hey, wait a minute. Or it could just be something that you realize. You're like, okay, this situation is hurtful, but there's a gain here. There's a foundation here that can give me some emotional contentment, and I know, learn something. I know. And maybe right now this other person can't give as much as you want them to, but maybe that's not their fault. Let me see what your animal oracle card here is. Oh yeah, the sheep and blackberry. This is devotion. So you could be devoted. Perhaps that goes with the sacrifice, with the hanged man. You could be devoted to someone who is either incapable or not willing to meet you where you stand. But you have to fill your own cups here with the 9 of Cups. You know, it's like you can still be happy. You can still have your, you can still love this person. But there's an element here of, again, of you doing most of the giving. Actually, one of the other readings had this. But there's a foundation here of something. There's some foundation here that you're not seeing, where the person is doing the best that they can. And even if the relationship doesn't go the way you want it to, there's something to be gained from it. I know. Devotion. You're devoted anyway. And I think they are too, in a way. And I drew you, because you had such a challenging reading, I drew you a Wisdom of the Oracle card by Colette Baron Reid. And we get Go the Distance. And I just want to read one part of this to you, because I think this is important. Okay, it's the card of what it says, endurance and strength in the long haul. But the oracle message is this: to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself, 9 of Cups. Your authenticity alone, your devotion, will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. Okay, so this is not a horrible reading. I know it doesn't look easy. It doesn't look bubbly. It doesn't look fiery. It's not fiery, but there's some gain here. There's some learning, and there is, believe it or not, some emotional contentment to be had, and some advice from friends, and you're going to be okay. So I'm sorry it's not more fun. One of these days we're going to get a really fun, I got a new deck in the kitchen. I haven't unboxed it yet. I'm going to do that in a couple of days, so hopefully that will be fun. I ordered a new deck and a new oracle deck, so maybe I've only got one deck so far, but maybe I'll do those together. So please leave me a comment. Let me know how this is treating you. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and I will talk to you later. Thank you. Blessings. Good night.